Hello everyone and welcome back. Something a little bit different, something I've never done for a game ever, which is we're going to go through some patch notes. It's going to be a nice little short video, nice and casual, and we're going to see what's new in Chrono CCG. Now this is for balance patch 0.7.1. There's new cards in there as well, new shop items, card backs. There's a few things to go into, but let's dive into it, shall we? Now, the first thing we should note is new card backs. Everyone likes shiny card backs. These are in the shop. And we've got Game Boy, Robs over here, Pogo, Cray, Reborn, Hatchling, and Bandmates. I think my favourite out of the lot is probably Game Boy Robs. I used to love my old Game Boy, so why not jump into that one? Now, as they say, they brought a couple of new styles in there as well, introducing the frame break style. You know, you can represent your favourite card art with this sleek look. What is a hatchling doing there? That sort of thing. The frame break. The last game I remember doing that is Marvel Rivals, which is a it's a good game. I played that quite a bit as well, and I'm sure you have if you love your CCGs and your TCGs. Now we've got a new emote as well. I'm personally not into my emotes. I couldn't care less, but some people are going to like to collect them, and I understand if you're going to spend money on a game, it's your favourite game, you're going to want to spend money on emotes. Now Rob is a Kickstarter backer, that's why his is on there, and he's got to work with one of their artists to design the game, bring his design to the game, so that's exciting as well. So good on the development team for that, helping out the Kickstarters and stuff, and I'm assuming that was some sort of competition or whatever, or a certain pricing. Now the juicy bits, the new cards. We have the spring loaded hopper, or the POGO Pogo. Now when this enters, it's going to grant all allies 1.0, and it's going to immortalize when allies have 10 strength. So I can see that one being quite useful if you've got seedlings and that sort of thing. I love a seedling deck. If you've seen any of my Twitch or you've seen the videos on YouTube, you know I love ramping up there. You know, it's like playing lands in Magic or my Druid in Hearthstone. Big fan of. Now, it's, as the devs say, it's a much needed singularity one drop that will help the Syndicate explore a path outside of discard and draw. And I agree with this. Again, a lot of decks I play against, they don't really have much. If you throw out their Fervent Follower, for instance, and with my Seedling deck in there as well, you know, they can really struggle with their one drops to try and deal somewhat with the other cards one drops, so like Fervent Follower. So this can be a good counter, because you're going to want to get rid of this soon, because you don't want it to ramp up too much. And and the more copies you have, obviously, the better. So hopefully, as they say here, it can open up opportunity to explore faster singularity strategy that doesn't rely on the early game units of Splinter Gleam, although we still expect to see Splinter Gleam and Singularity make the most of it. Next up, we have Consummate Conspirator, or Takan the Tattle. Now when this enters, you're going to heal a damaged ally, give it evasive this round. Immortalize is when they've seen your allies or core heal 6. So pretty strong card, and when that immortalizes, it deals 1 to an ally, then heal it 1 for activate. And when you heal a damaged ally, give it evasive this round. So that's going to be quite strong as well. I can already think of a few cards on top of that as well. I mean, you could throw this into a bleed deck as well if you want, and that would be quite nasty, because a few of their cards do get benefits if they take 1 damage plus survive. You know, you add Fervor in there as a action as well. Quite nasty. Next up, we have Possessed Prawn, Cray, Reborn. Now, Possessed Prawn, when that comes in, it will, when it sees, while it sees Voiceless Sky, it has a 3/0, and immortalizes when they've seen a shift to Voiceless Sky as well. And while it sees Voiceless Sky, obviously it has 3 zeros, and its last wish is grant my weakest ally my strength. So again, probably nice early game to get out. If you notice anything about these cards, a lot of them are quite early game, which is probably what the game needs, because again, so many decks are so. I found with my Seedling deck, if you get to round 5 or 6 and you haven't done much damage to the enemy core, you can't really struggle, because again, then becomes a battle of attrition really from both sides. So early game, I think probably needs a bit of development, and it looks like they're working on that. And as I say, we want to give Silence a unit that is encouraged to go into combat instead of staying on the bench, because too many of their cards, they do just kind of sit back and let it happen. Pack Tactic, summon 2 wolves. If you see abundant growth, allied wolves flourish. This would be fantastic in my Seedling deck as well. I've also, I've got a few wolves in there, super handy. And the fact that it summons them and doesn't attack, I know it's got that card, can't think of it at the top of my head, that attacks for every 2 timelines in the timeline stack. For this one that keeps them, and of course if it's got abundant growth, they both flourish as well. I'm assuming they will both be 3/2s if they flourish. Super handy. And of course wolves can, they confront as well. So yeah, the devs obviously think this is actually a bit of support for the Lifeblood control playstyle that managed to fit within the identity of Lifeblood. Lifeblood is the board-based syndicate, but that doesn't mean it can't explore other archetypes. Exactly. Now, Apex Star Cruise, the Sunbringer. Now, when this enters play, it raises the top 5 cards of your graveyard to deal damage to all enemies, and the enemy core equal to each action it raised. It'll be a very action-heavy deck. You're going to absolutely love this. And again, in the bleed deck or something like that, this would be nasty. And when it immortalizes, it just turns into a 9/9. So, wow, and it immortalizes when you've spent 12 energy in 1 round. So, a late card game, obviously, it's 9 crystals to play. Very good. And the devs think, while also encouraging players to either play action-heavy decks or play cards in that order, benefit the Sunbringer. The Sunbringers, beware, the opponent can remove your agents on the board for your graveyard of agents instead of actions weakening your board wipe. So, balance it up. Is it really worth putting in the late in the deck for a late game play? Maybe. It's very, very specific. You let me know in the comments. Now, we've also got a few of these as well. Frenzied Humomancer. Enter or the first time each round, I see an ally survive damage. Create a blood shard in hand. And it immortalizes when it sees 2 blood shards in your graveyard. Now, the blood shard, discard 1 to play. When I unplay, grant an ally 1/0, then deal 1 to it. Again, bleed deck, absolutely fantastic. And when it's discarded, grant your strongest ally 1/0. So crazy, crazy, crazy. It's also an immediate card, so it can come in very handy if you're attacking or defending. And of course, you got Driven the Scarlet Storm, which is enter for the first time each round. I see an ally survive damage, create 2 blood shards in hand. So again, you're going to get a lot of blood shards. You're going to be able to do a lot of damage. That opens a lot of possibilities, and to be honest, I can't wait to get these in my deck. And we're expecting Driven to find a home in a variety of different decks with his ability to buff agents on the board or create a large amount of actions to spam later. So if you use this card with the Sunbringer, wow, you're seeing a lot of actions there. Now, balance changes. Some have come to, we have cookies. Its old cost has gone from 9 to 8. I think it would have been okay at 9, but the devs wanted to make sure it was a hit properly compared to the last couple of times we tried to nerf it. It definitely felt the rework, and at 9 cost, it's essentially unplayable. Bumping it to 8 cost, and we'll see how it feels here. So it's kind of a see how it goes type of thing. Next one is Gentle Frank. I played against Gentle Frank a few times. He's really annoying to get rid of. I'm so glad he has delay. Now, the old text said, if an enemy would confront an ally, they must confront me if able. Allies in your core take 1 less damage from all sources. Now, the new text says, allies and your core take 1 less damage from all sources. So basically it removes the confront side of things. If an enemy wants to block you, they can. Or block something else. And basically the devs say Gentle Frank has the text of 2 different cards, and with little VFX to make it clear he was causing a poor experience for new players. While definitely a nerf, we're not actually expecting the removal of his first line of text to matter all that much from a balance point of view. So that's just basically to help the newer players. But I think it does change it quite things, because sometimes you don't want to be able to confront him. You want to stop someone else. Zorp Unrecyclable. Now this is definitely a card that's had me scratching my head. I mean, again, my Seedling deck, it's an absolute nightmare. They just play it. Now, the old stats and text, it was a 3-1 enter, create a copy of me in hand. Now, it's a 6-1 enter, create a copy of me in hand at next round start. So, if you do get rid of Zorp quickly enough, it won't come back. But that 6-1 is quite heavy to deal with. And it said that it's been terrorizing draft players. It's been terrorizing me in ranked, if I'm honest. And the change isn't being made specifically because of draft. It's being made because we want to lean away from cards that are capable of being infinitely played, which I absolutely agree with. It's a nasty card. And once they play 1, it's just endless from there. Especially for such a low cost, it wasn't too uncommon for a game to zone 1 player playing 1 card over and over again, which isn't particularly exciting gameplay. Again, if you've seen any of my Twitch, you've heard me call it boring when people play this. Super excited, that's changed. Now, Sap has changed. Now, it's gone from enter Sprout 2, then grant those seedlings last gasp, deal 1 to all agents, to now it only sprouts 1, grant that seedling last gasp, deal 1 to all agents. I don't think this needed changing. I actually think it's a really good board clear, and I've needed it many times. Now, I can see that what they're saying, he was very strong and likely to be busted one day. Well, it finally happened, and his versatility has become dominating the ladder. I've needed him because a lot of my deck doesn't really have much board clear. And if you really want to clear things up early on and try and get it out before like Gunnery Captain, which will wipe most of the ceiling board out, my ceiling deck out, then your Sap is quite important for those 2 rounds in between when you put him out and Gunnery Captain comes out, and other things like, you know, the Plague Spreader and that sort of thing. As for general updates, the Bait Season 2 track is now in the shop. You've got the Draft Bundle in the shop. The ability to purchase season tracks in the rewards tab. That's exciting as well. So I'm guessing you can go back in time, which is hopeful. Remove the one-time purchase restriction from the season collector bundle. So I'm guessing people have been asking to be able to buy more and they want more money, I suppose. Reverse the graveyard order so your most recent cards are at the top. Thank you for that. That's super helpful. Update match found screen to show your opponent's rank. And update the sync on the board to create a faster and smoother experience. So yeah, I hope so, because sometimes, I don't know if you've had it, where you play a card and then you can't play a card, or it locks you out and you can't do any actions, or you can't block, you can't attack, and you lose a round completely. It's really annoying. Bug fixes report if seen. However, they fixed the bug that sometimes caused cast to not have their enter animation when played, made an update to reconnection logic to prevent players from getting stuck in an infinite loop, fixed the bug that caused match history in the profile to be incorrect, one that caused a card removed from the deck in draft to be gone completely. Precon decks and card models do not have their images properly. Fix the bug to prevent players from inspecting cards until they restart their game for the first time. I hate the restart thing. Fix the bug with the daily double that caused you to not only lose out on your second daily pack, but you would lose out on your free pack. And fix the bug in draft that caused the cards to disappear or appear as pack 4 out of 3 if you're on the screen for too long. Fix the bug with Sell the First Dive that caused him to remain disarmed when rewound. Fix the bug that caused Nascent Clone to keep its art when transforming into a different agent. One that caused agents to survive with 1 durability when Gentle Frank is on the board. Yeah, I can tell you now, that was also annoying to deal with. A bug that caused Time Devour Soval to be immortal permanently instead of once per round. And Origination Engine and Redactionist. Fix the interaction between them. Fix the bug that caused some keyword definition to appear multiple times when inspecting a card. And fix the variety of text edits across the card's definitions in UI. Now that's everything in this balance patch and new content update. This is of course patch 0.7.1. Chrono, I'm absolutely loving you. I'm liking the changes. I can't wait to get back on ranked and try this bait season 2 update. Let me know in the comments what you think of the game. I know this has probably not helped you out as much as this video, but it's kind of new for me to do. I've never done it before for a game. Maybe I shouldn't do it again, but go easy on me there. Well, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Hit subscribe. Check me out every day. I think this is going to be my new game now. So, yeah, I'll be streaming it every day pretty much. So, yeah, it's definitely worth following. And let me know what deck you're using in the comments as well. I'm trying to build a Bleed Decay deck. Like I said, I've only used Lifeblood 1 Seedling. But now I want to expand out of that. Now I've got a few more cards after spending some resources on 20 packs of a day, which you can check out the video. And we'll link it above up here. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. Remember, hit subscribe. Bye-bye.